Actually, it was built in 1794, but they were out at the nines at the hardware store, so I backdated it 10 years.
It's a beautiful house.
Historical Society had kittens.
Hello.
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you.
This is my wife, Myra. Silver dancing here.
I was beginning to worry.
Everybody working?
How so? How do you guess?
The typewriter and all these posters. Is this the mace that was used in the Murderous Child?
Yes, and this dagger's from the murder game. But careful, it's sharp. The trick one is substituted in Act 2.
In for the kill?
Yes.
I can't understand why that play didn't run.
Critics peeing on it might be the
The
answer.
train was on the plane. Was it?
No, Mr. Broll was. The train was on time.
I had to get gas, and Frank insisted on funneling the spark plugs.
Oh, did you know that Gunpoint was the first play I ever saw? I came up to New York from Hartford by myself, another first. I saw that matinee with my aunt. I was 12 years old at the time.
If you're trying to depress me, you've made it.
How? Oh, I'm sorry, but that's how I got hooked on thrillers.
Angel Street did it to me. Ah, Bella, where do you put that grocery bill, eh? What do you do with it, you poor, wretched creature? I was 15.
Sounds like a disease. Being passed over generation to generation.
It is a disease. Thrilleritis malignus. The fevered pursuit of the one-set, five-character moneymaker.
Oh, I'm not pursuing money. Not that I would like to have some to have a place like this to work in, but that's not the reason I wrote Deathtrap.
Well, you're still an early case.
And it's not a disease, it's a tradition. A superbly challenging theatrical framework in which every possible variation seems to have been tried. Can I conjure up a few new ones? Can I startle an audience that's been on Angel Street, that's dialed in for murder, that witnessed the prosecution, that played the murder game?
Lovely speech! And thanks for saving me for last.
I was actually coming to sleuth.
I'm glad I stopped you.
So am I. I'm a little euphoric about all that's happening.
As well you should be.
Would you like something to drink?
Yes, please. Do you have ginger ale?
Yes. Sydney Scotch?
No, I believe I'll have some ginger ale too.
These aren't all from your plays, are they?
God, no. I haven't written that many. Friends give me things now and I prowl the antique shops.
There's the disease.
Yes, and a superb excuse for not working. I found this one in Ridgefield just the other day. 18th century German.
It's beautiful.
As you can see, I've been taking very good care of my spiritual child. Pristine condition.
I've got the original.
Good. I should really be wearing glasses, but the doctor said the longer I can do without them, the better off I am.
There's a scene between Diane and Carlo that I may have been wrong to cut. And the Diane and Richard scene starts earlier, before they know Carlo is back.
Did you do several drafts?
No, just the one. It's a mess, but I think you'll be able to decipher it if you'd like to see those two scenes.
I would, by all means. I had a feeling there was a Diane and Carlo scene I was missing. Before the murder?
Yes, I was afraid the act would run too long.
Thanks. What else is in there?
Oh, the outline, which I parted from considerably. I made it just the way suggested. Page per scene, loose leaf, and some lines I jotted down but never got to use.
Throughout the ones you did as you used them?
Yep.
Same way I work.
Everything was in the envelope, so I could just grab it and leave. Thank you.
Thanks.
It's a 2-hour walk to the station, so I had to leave as soon as we were done.
2 hours?
Oh, I walk longer than that. I'm one writer who's not going to get flabby. I work out with weights every morning, and I came this close to making the Olympic decathlon team.
Really?
Well, this close.
Well, I'll be sure not to argue with you then. I'm on the Olympic sloth team myself. Gold medal. I can fall asleep in any position. Deathtrap.
Deathtrap.
Deathtrap. It'll be toasted with more than this someday if Sydney's right, and I'm sure he is.
I actually toasted it with beer the other night.
Oh, we have some. Would you rather?
No, this is fine, thank you.
Are you planning on staying in here?
Yes.
Do you think I overdid the set description? The exact locations for each piece of furniture.
Set description? I don't remember anything wrong with it. No, this is perfect. Couldn't be better. You certainly type beautifully. Electric?
No, I can't see electric typewriters. There's a power outage, you can't work.
That's the whole point in owning one. No, the real problem with them, I find, with Zenobia here at any rate, is that you can only make one decent carbon. The second is so muddy as to be almost illegible. You don't have that problem.
Mr. Anderson, Sidney has some wonderful ideas for improving your play.
I'm sure he does. I'm looking forward to hearing them.
Would you mind doing that in the other room, dear?
There's no good work light in there.
I seem to recall a paisley chair with a light beside it, bright enough for the engraving of Bibles on pinheads.
It's too bright, and the chair is too low. Be quiet.
Darling, this is Clifford's first play, and I'm the first person to read it. I'm sure he'd prefer our conversation to be private. Wouldn't you? Don't be embarrassed to say so.
No, I don't mind this role being here. In fact, I kind of like it. It makes me feel a little less like I've been called to the principal's office.
Oh. I'm sorry if I awe you.
Well, you do. All those plays and the things you say. I never thought of calling my typewriter anything but Smith Corona.
Well, as long as it answers.
You're welcome to read the play too, Mrs. Brill, if you'd like to.
I would.
I'm curious to know how women are going to react to Diane's decision about the gun.
Well, Sidney told me a little about it at dinner, but stopped at the surprises. I don't even know who kills whom.
Good. You shouldn't. I think that was the problem with the murderer's child. You'll forgive me for saying so, but from the opening curtain, it was so obvious that Dr. Mannheim was going to bash poor Teddy. He didn't leave any room for doubt. The audience should suspect, yes, but they shouldn't be absolutely certain, should they? Doesn't that tend to diminish the suspense?
You may have a point there. I wish you'd said over the phone that you wanted Myra to read it. Then I would have told you to bring another carbon she'd be reading right now while we have her talk.
I didn't know she'd be interested. Besides, I don't have another carbon.
You don't have another carbon?
No, I thought I'd be Xeroxing the original as soon as I was through.
Makes sense. Suppose there's no use for 2 or 3 anymore in the age of Xerox.
Well, she could read this one and we could pass the pages back and forth, or I could be next to you.
Wait. Let me think. Let me just think.
Mr. Anderson, I've never seen Sidney so enthusiastic. He gets plays in the mail, very often finished plays that are ready for production from agents, from producers, from aspiring playwrights, and normally he just laughs and sneers and says the most disparaging things you could possibly imagine. I know he could improve your play tremendously. You could turn it into a hit that would run for years and years and make more than enough money for everyone concerned.
Is that what you meant by I'll be quiet?
I won't be quiet! I'm going to say something that's been in my mind ever since your phone conversation. It's very wrong of you to expect Sidney to give you the fruit of his years of experience, his hard-won knowledge, without any quid pro quo, as if the seminar was still in session.
He offered
And it was very wrong of you to have offered to give it to him. I am the one in this house who's here on the ground, his eyes on the checkbook. Now, I'm going to make a suggestion to you, Sidney. It's going to come as a shock to you, but I want you to give me great and thoughtful and earnest consideration. Will you do that? Will you do that for me? Put aside the play you're working on. Yes, put aside the play about Helga Tendorf and how she finds murderers and keys under clothes dryers. Put it aside, Sidney. Help Mr. Anderson with his play. Collaborate with him. That's what I'm suggesting. That's what I think is the fair and rational and reasonable thing to do in this situation. Deathtrap by Clifford Anderson and Sidney Brill, unless Mr. Anderson feels that in deference to your age and reputation, it should be the other way around.
That is a shocker. Put aside the drowning wife?
I thought it was frowning.
Drowning? No, what kind of title would that be? The Drowning Wife is what I'm calling it. It has these women's lib overtones, plus the ESP. Such a timely play.
Yes. Sidney, it will keep. People are always interested in a psychic who can point at someone and say, this man murdered that man. Please, I beg you, do for Mr. Anderson what George S. Kaufman did for you.
That's certainly a persuasive argument, Myra. How does it grab you?
Wow, I suddenly feel as if I've been put on the spot.
Oh, you have been. Myra has put you there. Put us both there.
I felt it should be brought up now before anything was done.
You're quite right. Quite right. What's your opinion, Clifford?
Well, I must say, I'm honored, really, overwhelmed that the great Sidney Brill would even consider putting aside one of his own plays to work with me on mine. I mean, there I was, when I was 12 years old, and you would think that someday
we get the gist of this passage.
It's a golden opportunity that I'm sure I ought to seize with both hands.
You should, yes.
But the thing is, it's as if I went to the doctor, one of the world's leading specialists, and he recommended surgery. Well, even with my respect for his experience and his eminence, I would still want to get a second opinion, wouldn't I? And right now, without having heard it, I get the feeling that Deathtrap is very good as it is. Not perfect, certainly. I guess I could still use a little fine-tuning, but not in need of surgery. What I ought to do, I think, is Xerox a few copies tomorrow morning to some of those agents you suggested. And if they, too, say that it needs major rewriting, I'll come back here begging you to make whatever arrangement you think is right. Maybe the same one you had with Mr. Kaufman, I guess. I hope I haven't offended you.
Not at all.
Mr. Anderson, please, agents are not contracts. What they don't know about is...
Don't! Myra, don't beg him. I think he has the wealth of the Indies here, and that we're Mr. and Mrs. Jean Lafitte.
I'd never think something like that. I'm honored that you're willing to go out of your way to help me.
But I'm not, really. Now that I've had the chance to consider the matter, I would never put aside a play as timely and inventive as The Drowning Wife to do wet nurse work to one as speculative as Deathtrap. Sit down, Myra. You're making me nervous standing there hyperventilating. As you said, show it to a few agents, and if they say that major rewrites are in order, get in touch. Who knows? I might hit a snag. This happened once or twice.
Thank you, I will.
Though I doubt I shall. I have it completely outlined, and I'm more than halfway done. And I have one ready to go, based on the life of Harry Houdini.
Oh?
Yes, magic is very in now. Look at the success of the magic show. Houdini has always been an idle mind. Actually, these are a pair of his handcuffs.
Cindy!
Relax, darling. Clifford isn't the type of person to steal someone else's idea. You wouldn't do that, would you?
Of course not. I could never think of doing something like that.
See? No cause for alarm. His heart as far from fraud as heaven from earth. Remarkable man, Houdini. Made all his own magical apparatus. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Magnificent craftsmanship. Have a look.
Cindy, please!
Sit down, Myra!
For God's sake, think!
He is a honest young man! Tell you, sit down! Stop being so all-fired suspicious of everyone who comes through that door! We had a nasty experience a few years back regarding a plagiaristic playwright whose name I won't mention, as he is gone to his maker. We're called for repairs. Ever since, Myra has gotten alarmed if I so much as mention the language I'm working in to fellow writer. Don't take it personally. Have a good look at those. They're quite remarkable.
They look so old.
They were made to, and apparently solid and escape-proof.
They certainly seem that way.
Be my guest.
You can put them on?
Yes. That is what I mean when you're holding my prize pair of $1,200 handcuffs, and I say, be my guest. Put them on.
$1,200! Oh.
Now, you gotta turn your wrist like this, press and pull. No, gotta be one quick motion. Turn, press, pull, all in one.
They're not working.
It did for me yesterday, so it's not a question of them not being oiled.
I guess I'm just not Houdini.
That's alright. I have the key here, somewhere. Don't go and fuss with them. You're liable to ruin them.
Sorry.
Key. Where are you, little brass key?
You know, this could make a terrific thriller. It could, I mean it.
How so?
Well, a young playwright sends his first play to an older playwright who conducted a seminar that the younger playwright attended. Nobody else has read it, and then he decides to visit the older playwright to get some ideas for rewrites. Of course, you'd have to have the Xerox machine breaking down to explain why there are only 2 copies. And the play would have to be a very good one. The one the young playwright wrote, I mean. And the older playwright would have to have nothing much going on for him at the time.
An enormous collection of unlikely circumstances, don't you think?
Yes, but we've almost got it here, don't we? The only difference is that you've got the drowning wife and the Houdini play, and Deathtrap probably isn't worth killing for. I'll bet nobody even saw me getting into your car.
Well, there you go. You've nicked the second play problem.
I think it could be turned into something fairly interesting. What do you think, Mrs. Brill?
Oh, I don't like it. It scares me.
I wonder if it could be here somewhere.
I forgot to mention, I should be getting a call any minute now. I left a note on the hall mirror, so a friend of mine could call and find out what train I'll be taking back, so she can pick me up from the station. 1 2-hour walk per day is just about enough for me. So I hope you find that key soon, or you're going to have to hold the phone for me.
How's she going to get in to read the note?
She has a key.
You're not a very conscientious house there.
She's honest.
You said over the phone that you don't know anyone in Milford except a few tradespeople.
She's from Hartford. Her name is Marietta Klinowski. She teaches at Quirk Middle School, Phi Ed.
How'd you get the number? It's not listed.
I got it from the university. I'm filming with Miss Beckham there.
Miss Beckham?
The short red-haired lady with the eye shade.
Well, I certainly hope you gave her the right number. We had ours changed a few weeks ago. An obscene caller was boring us. And I don't believe I notified the university. What number did you leave for Miss Klinowski?
I can't remember.
226-3049 or 226-5457?
The first one, 3049.
New number. I must have notified the university and clean forgot about it. Strange. How untypical of me.
You'll go on looking for that key, please.
Certainly.
My heart won't take it!
Won't take what, dear? My finding the key? I do believe the two of you thought I was going to grab some mace there and pull a Dr. Mannheim. Is that why you've withdrawn so far off stage?
Well, you can't write a play like that and not envision possibilities.
True, very true. I'm slightly paranoid myself. What is your excuse, oh loyal and trusting wife of mine? 11 years of marriage, and she thinks I'm capable of flesh and blood murder. There's a lesson for you in that, Clifford. Uncuff yourself. Deathtrap is promising, but it's just not that promising.
I'm glad it isn't.
No. I do believe your best invention was the name Marietta Klinowski. That's lovely. I congratulate you.
Thank you.
I can picture the sweat on her forearms after the basketball game. Miss Beckham's eye shade I thought was a bit much.
I thought it was the type of convincing detail you told us to try for. Are you sure this is the right key?
Ye gods, Houdini could open them in a can of milk under 10 feet of water. Are you saying you can't do it in...
Oh my God!
Stay back! Myra! Stay back! Right on the rug. One point for neatness. Your heart seems to be.
Barely.
We'll give it a rest on the Riviera after the opening. And we'll get a housekeeper, so you can take it easy. And you know what? Another car, too. Goddamn rolls.
I'm going to be arrested.
A would-be playwright walks away from his house-sitting job. The police won't even bother to yawn.
You guys, his clothes, his typewriter!
Who knows? Who can figure out these young kids nowadays? Especially the would-be playwrights. Maybe he figured he wouldn't be, and went off to preach ecology. Or to join the house of the Reverend Sung Myung Moon. Or, better yet, maybe his house is broken into and poor little Smith Corona stolen.
What are you going to do with him?
Bury him behind the garage. No, in the vegetable patch. Easier digging. Take a brandy or something. I'm going to be a winner again. Our friends will see you living off of my money. Takes away their confusion. Full moon, all right. I hope this doesn't become a monthly habit. Would you mind helping me carry him? It's been done, Myra. I don't see the point in my getting a hernia. Thank God he wasn't the fat one.